with IIoT World, and I'm here with John Harrington, and we are at the Hannover Messe 2025. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Greg. It's great to talk to you.
It's nice to talk to you again, too. It's been a year.
It has. It's been a day.
Indeed.
We're at the end of the first day, and already it's been exciting.
It's been heavy traffic from what I've seen as well.
Yes, a lot of people moving through, a lot of questions.
Well, that's
a lot of interest.
There should be. You've got HighByte's Intelligent Hub. So tell us a little bit about that. From a crucial role of digital transformation driving industrialization. I mean, how do you see the role of industrial data ops changing, maybe from past years or over the past 5 years?
Yeah, so 2-3 years ago when people would come up, they didn't know what industrial data ops was. They were trying to understand why it was needed, why it was important. Now, people come to us, they're seeking us out, they understand something about industrial data ops, they're looking to learn more, they're still looking to learn, but the real key thing is people are realizing they need a data strategy, and what we're seeing that's motivating that is, certainly digital transformation is motivating that, but AI has taken that to a whole new level, that they're really realizing that AI needs good data, and AI is now running not just in the cloud with agentification and all of that, it's going to be running on edge, it's going to be running in data centers. So how do we create a data strategy to drive data across all of our systems and really build a discipline there? And that's what industrial data ops is. So lots of questions around that, a lot of excitement there.
So talk to me a little bit about data, because from your perspective, I know you guys take transactional data, take time series data, and you bucket it, if you will.
Right.
Why is it important to be able to batch it or pull that at real time?
Yeah, so telemetry data is really the core of the factory data, right? It's the settings and the recorded data coming off the machinery. The challenge is that you need to add context to it. So you need to know where it is, you need to know what job you're working on, you need to know if there are any alarms or activities going on at the same time. Well, all that data is in the MES. So to be able to pull transactional data out of the MES system and mix it in real time with the telemetry data, that adds the context. To give you another example, if you're doing predictive maintenance, then that data, context is in the CMMS system. So what we find is that the raw telemetry data is core to all these use cases, but we need to contextualize that based on the consumption, based on the consumer. Who's going to be using that? What domain are they coming from? Is it the maintenance, the production monitoring, the quality? And then we contextualize it with the systems that they have in place for that. And then by merging that together, it's very easy. You can merge it into, say, a data lake, and you can really put it to use using a lot of different analytic techniques, dashboarding techniques, different applications.
So there's got to be examples. So talk to me. I mean, even if it's qualitatively speaking, where are you guys seeing this be picked up and being leveraged? Some great use cases.
Yeah. So the great thing for us is that we're seeing it widely adopted across manufacturing. Okay. So we have customers that are automotive OEMs. Some of the really top tier automotive companies. We've also got customers in food and beverage, customers in pharmaceuticals and med device, customers in oil and gas, so really widely used. We have customers across 24 different countries. And they're using it in a lot of different areas. Some companies are using us for predictive maintenance. So we have a customer who's a pulp and paper company, and they're doing predictive maintenance on the large motors that drive the paper process. So, that's a very straightforward, very concrete use case. They're collecting the data, they're pulling it out, they're merging it with some of their data in their PI system and in their MES system, and they're moving that up to the cloud to analyze it. We have other customers who are using the data to measure their line, so the production line, and they're looking at common metrics across multiple lines, across multiple sites, so that they can evaluate how is one line doing versus another, where do we need to spend our time. If one line is producing significantly less, maybe we need to send a Tiger team to go and fix that line and to look at what the problems are, collect even more data on it and fix it. So it's widely used in many different industries.
So you're getting some best practices as well, right, to share with the other facilities?
Yeah, it's tremendous. And what companies find is when they put a system like this in, the first time they put it in, just to deploy it, they're saving like 10x in terms of the time and the speed. And one thing that we hear from companies over and over is the biggest bottleneck is no longer the technology, it's no longer the projects, it's having the teams of OT and IT people who can do the work. Because at the end of the day, you have to do some work to make this data usable and to deploy these systems. And those teams are hard to recruit for, and it takes a lot of knowledge. But if we can accelerate those teams, then that's where the magic happens. And that's where we see a lot of value, where customers are able to really accelerate those teams. They're able to scale the systems much faster than with other approaches. And they're able to just drive value. And then once they get in for the first use case, it's really fast to scale out more use cases, because now we know they know the network, they know how to connect to the systems. Now we can just use more data and use it for new use cases, and that's really where things get fun.
So are you seeing it then from a kind of a proof of concept, where a company will do about one bite at the apple, do a pilot study, and then scale from there?
Yeah, we have one customer who started out, they did a proof of concept, they evaluated the software, they decided to move forward. They rolled it out on one site. They took 6 months, which is long. Typically we see 1 to 3 months to roll it out in a site. They took 6. But what they were doing was they were planning for scale, because they then rolled it out across 40 sites in 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Scramble.
That's an outlier, but that's what you can do if you're planning and you're deliberate and you know what you're going after. So they're really focused on predictive maintenance of their facilities, and they were able to roll it out that fast. So that's when things, people really see a lot of value when they can roll that kind of improvements.
No, it's impressive. Impressive results. So folks want to learn more about it, you're here in the AWS booth, correct? You're at Hannover Messe this year?
We are. Yep, we've got a big booth we're in AWS booth. Talking to a lot of people. If they're here, come on by. If they're not here, our website, www.highbyte.com, or LinkedIn, we've always publishing stuff. So yeah, reach out. Love to talk to anyone.
Sounds good. Reach out.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Greg.